Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I want to talk today about the general that just came out talking about the Sputnik moment, quote unquote, for our military. And this is in regards to the hypersonic missile test that China just conducted. And I don't think people understand truly the gravity of what's going on right now. When, excuse me, a high-ranking official comes out and talks about this. And actually, let me step back. The Sputnik moment, if I remember correctly, it was 1957. The Soviet Union, we were in a race to space, the space race. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched a satellite into orbit, and that completely stunned the world, including the United States. And for the first time in a long time, we felt like we were losing something. We were losing the race. And it was a big psychological deal. And when a general comes out, sorry, I got the dump truck near us. When a general comes out and talks about this Sputnik moment, it should be paid attention to, because what's happening is he was explaining that China is growing so fast, the technology is moving so fast that we're trying to keep up, but this is something that we don't have a whole lot of defense against. And I'm not saying that tomorrow we don't come out with something even more impressive, but you know, when China unveiled its stealth fighters, that was a big deal. A lot of people didn't believe that it could happen. And I want to talk about us economically. See, because, you know, for so long, we've thought that we're going to rule the roost. Every generation before us has felt the same thing. The U.S. has been able to keep its dominance in the world economically by use of force, by being that big brother that takes care of, quote unquote, other countries. And the fact is, we're the youngest fiat system and one of the youngest militaries in the world, in history. But yet we think that it's always going to be like that. And I'm here to say, honestly, it's not going to always be like that. To think that would be completely asinine. We took that world reserve currency status away from the British a little after World War II, or that's debatable. It was a long process, but it doesn't mean that we're always going to be there. It doesn't mean that we're always going to be the number one currency in the world too. You know, I use the term, and I'm sorry for it, but it's the U.S. dollar to me is the best, smelling turd in the punch bowl. But they're all falling right now. And the facts are, if we can't defend it militarily, then we could have a real problem. And it doesn't matter if you live in America or anywhere in the world. This is something everybody needs to be aware of. This is why we put way too much faith as consumers and as citizens of whatever country we're in our currencies. But yet we see all over the world, especially now, Turkey, Venezuela, Libya, there's so many of them. And don't discount those countries because you think you're better than them. Because the facts are, every country's currency has went through massive inflation, deflations, and hyperinflations. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think there's a day where we're going to see the US in that position. When? I have no clue. I'm just a dude with a brohawk and an empty cup of coffee because I drank it all. My point being is that it's time, especially now, this is such a great opportunity. When you see the people hurting in these countries that I just mentioned, do something to honor them and be prepared. Get out of the system. And what's one way of getting out of the system? This isn't financial advice. Again, just do the brohawk and a dream. Get out of debt. Don't be in that debt system. Now, it's not saying don't use debt to make money. There is its own place, and we're going to start talking about that. How to use business debt to, or personal debt to make money. That's one thing, but man, you got to be very disciplined to do it. Because technically, it's a trap. It can be used for good, it can be used for bad. So I want to make that very clear. Then looking at these fiat systems, why is gold going up? Why is in the last 20 years the price of gold outpaced all of the major stock market indices, which I don't know. Why has Bitcoin kept going up, right? It's because there is trouble in the fiat system, right? Those are just facts. Right now, use these stories that are coming out of China that are imploding right now, their debt bomb, these hyperinflations are happening with currencies around the world as motivation to start learning more and more. And every time, guys, thank you for everyone that hits the thumbs up and subscribes, or better yet, takes these videos and shares them on their platforms, because so many of you guys want to help people. So many of you want to warn people, and it's falling on deaf ears, and you're watching eyes roll back into your head. sharing stuff like this, and just let the dude with the bro hawk do the squawking. And I appreciate that. It helps me out. It helps your friends out. And then in the end, honestly, guys, you know what's going to happen. We're going to clean house. So I think this Sputnik moment, it truly is, and people aren't paying attention to it. But I think, let's talk economics. There's a lot of people not paying attention to what's really happening behind the scenes with money. So let's get the word out, guys. Thank you so much. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.